This is the fourth video on covalent bonding. If you have not yet watched the previous three, do that first. In this video, we're going to be doing number 7 on the covalent bonding practice, and that is H2CO. Just like in the other videos, our first step when drawing a Lewis structure for a covalent compound is to determine the number of electrons, of valence electrons that this compound has as a whole. Hydrogen has 1 valence electron, but we have 2 of them. So we have 1 plus 1, 1 from each hydrogen. Carbon has 4 valence electrons, and oxygen has 6 valence electrons. So that gives us a total of 12 valence electrons that we're going to be working with. Our next step is to determine our central atom. This one is a little different than the previous because we have 2 elements that we only have 1 of. Hydrogen cannot be central because we have 2 of those. In addition, hydrogen can only form 1 bond, so it will never, ever be central. So carbon or oxygen, which one is going to be our central atom? Whenever you see a carbon, carbon is going to be our central atom. So you can think C for central, or you can remember that carbon generally likes to form 4 bonds. So since it likes bonds on all sides, it's going to be our central atom. And then we can just draw our other atoms around it, and you can pick any side. Then we need to bond them. Now remember, we have 12 electrons that we can deal with. We have 12 total valence electrons in this structure. So far, we've drawn 2, 4, 6. So we have 6 left that we can draw. We need to figure out where to put these 6, if we're going to need more bonds, or if we're going to just need lone electrons. So let's start with our hydrogen. Hydrogen needs 2 electrons, and it indeed has 2 electrons. So our hydrogen is good. We do not want to touch it. Our bottom hydrogen also needs 2 electrons and has 2 electrons, so that one's good. Carbon is surrounded by 2, 4, 6 electrons, and it needs 8 electrons. So this carbon needs 2 more electrons. Oxygen is surrounded by 2 electrons, so this oxygen needs a total of 6 electrons. 2 plus 6, so our 2 from the carbon plus our 6 from the oxygen equals 8 total electrons, but we only have 6 more valence electrons to deal with. So what do? Well, because we don't have enough electrons for the atoms to get their own individual electrons, they're going to need to share. So we're going to have to create another bond. Once we've created this bond, we've used 2 more electrons, so now we have 4 electrons to go. Now we need to do the process again. We need to see where to put these electrons. So this carbon now has 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons. Sorry about that. And it's good. It has 8 electrons, so carbon doesn't need any more. This oxygen has 2, 4 electrons. In order to get to 8, our oxygen needs 4 more. Notice we have 4 electrons left over. So we can just draw our 4 electrons around oxygen. So now we have a total of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons around oxygen, and we are good to go. Let's just double check that this structure is correct. So each of our elements are stable. We've checked that. Hydrogen has 2, carbon has 8, oxygen has 8. So that's awesome. We only had a total of 12 electrons. Let's just make sure that we stuck with it. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this will be our final structure.